watching Otero Studios.
Welcome to a fun-sized edition of Otero Studios Archive. Just wanted to show my basic process on how I start my videos, get the videos going. From start to finish, it's usually I pick a concept. For example, this month was Marvel month, so I either get a sketch card size or 4x7 or a sketch cover, which looks a lot like this Bloodshot cover. So then I pick what character I'm going to do. So like this last one was Moon Knight. Then I did some Star Wars ones, but they all fall under that Marvel month because Marvel publishes the Star Wars books. Once I've picked the character, then I go to the table and I do my blue line sketch. So you've probably seen it. I draw with the blue pencil, and that's the product. So once I figure that out, then I go to the pencil stage. Once I have the pencil stage finished, then I move on to the ink and color. I use most of these tools here for the inking and pencils. And then once I got the color down, then I'll use the whiteout marker that you've seen prominently in the channel. I've switched from gel to paint now. This has longer longevity in the piece, so it lasts longer. The piece looks better a year from now. I noticed that gel pens, after about a year or so, they start to fade. Sometimes they'll fade almost immediately. If I am moving around a lot, which I have been the last month or two because of shows or going to families' homes, I'll take this tripod with me. This one fits this camera pretty well, and I can situate it as tall as I want. This actually goes as high as I need it to. Right now I'm using a basic tripod for the table, just because this would be way up and would cause, lighting glares, which we don't want in a video. So once all that's recorded, then I upload it to the computer. So this is the editing view. Right here I have my tablet here. I've been working on a project. Almost knocked the camera over. I gotta do the Kenny Omega. But here I have the tablet in the way, so it's gonna be kind of hard to show the keyboard. But I'm going to tilt this over just a little bit. You can get a view of the editing software. I use iMovie, and on iMovie you have this is the last episode I did, which was the Patreon, switching my Patreon. But then, as you can see here, you'll see the sped up footage. I use this more as just to show you. When I do speed it up, it goes frame by frame very slowly, so I don't get to see how smooth it's gonna run until it's actually on YouTube, which dings against me in as views and watch time. So if it ran a little bit smoother, then I'd be able to see it better. And you see it is a little jittery when it plays. But then from there I have the Patreon donors, which are now going to be in there for forever. And then I have all my audio files. Most of them are from Hood Discipline, which is a friend of the channel, and Express Productions, which is also a friend of the channel, and also graduated from the same high school. So we all went to School of the Arts. Then I do have some video footage that I've captured, video game footage. This was for the Blazing Chrome review. So once it's all set up in the software, then I move on to upload. So on iMovie you can either upload directly to YouTube or you can save as a file. Sometimes this gives me issues, so then I upload it straight to a file, and then from there upload to YouTube. It does add a little extra step, but as long as the video gets up there, then it works out perfectly. Now once the video is finished, then I move on to the thumbnail stage. So from here, I have a thumbnail template already set up. So I open that up, which is YouTube Thumb. As you can see here, this was the last one I did, which was the end of the Patreon. So if I ever wanted to do another video, all I do is just add the image to here. So for example, I had that picture up. I can actually get rid of the Patreon one, and then boom, new thumbnail. If I want to go to an older thumbnail, I can just exit out of these, and that's one of my older templates. I still use it from time to time, but this is the very oldest, is right here. So if I get rid of these, that's about the style that I did when I first started doing the new thumbnails, and then that's the old icon, and then I can just add whatever image. So these are the images that I've added in the past. There's another one. You can see where I chop it up because it will be covered up by the border. And once these are finished, then I save as a file as a PNG, because it's a lossless media, and then I upload it using my phone, so I'll email it to myself. The reason why I don't post directly to YouTube is on browser is that while it's uploading, sometimes the thumbnail won't save, whereas on the phone I never run into that issue. On the phone I can just pull up YouTube Studio, and from there I can actually upload the thumbnail. Now, as far as digital goes, you saw that I do use this desktop. This is the one that I use for live streaming. You know, if I draw live, I'd like to use this just because this one doesn't seem to be ready for live streaming. Maybe just not enough RAM or graphics processing. But here's where I draw most of my bigger pieces. And what I do on here is I use Ice Cream screen recorder. Oh, it's frozen. Of course, the one time I need it to not be frozen, update, or just making sure. Sometimes when there's an update, it does run a little sluggish. Close. And if it does this, then I'll just close it and reopen it. Just gonna skip over to that. Alright, so I did force shut down the program, so now we're gonna reopen it. And now it's running fine. Alright, so that's a project you can't see yet. So I'll go to the desktop and I'll pull up Midnight Eye, issue 1, and then from here I can do whatever I need. Then I'll open up the screen recorder, and then from the screen recorder you can choose to add on to an older video or start a new one. So then I take the whole screen and just hit record, and 2, 1, then it starts recording. And then from here you can show whatever you need to do. Obviously it's still set to the last pen I used, but let's say I want to get rid of something, I can just start deleting images. This format of picture won't work well for video just because it's an 11 by 17. 11 by 17 doesn't show up very well in the video. So if you wanted to make this fit on a YouTube video, then you would have to switch to, I believe the dimensions for 1080p is 1080, 1240 by 1080. And what that does is that it will shrink it down. Obviously you can see the difference in size. That's a big change. That's all that will fit. I know the dimensions were just a little off, but this would be the ideal size for putting on a video for YouTube. I do not want to save it because then it will change the video or change the picture. And then stop the screen recorder, and this is where you can name it we're not going to keep it, so just exit out of it. And you can record your voice with Ice Cream Screen Recorder. It's a tongue twister. What I like about it is that it was a one-time fee, and it's a pretty robust program. You can do game capture, screen capture, video or audio capture. I don't use it for voiceovers because the voiceover program on iMovie is pretty good. It's just a microphone. And then now I'll show you some behind the scenes on the microphone. Alright, so you'll see here I have the the cover for the microphone, and then that's the new microphone. It is MXL 990, and it has the shock cable there. I'm hoping to use that for voiceovers. Right now I'm just dealing with a bad mixer. That's kind of putting a wrench in the progression of Midnight Eye, but then I still have to wait for the trademarks and stuff like that, so in the copyright. Other than that, I'm having a ton of fun getting this set up. I'm a techie, so just getting that stuff work together, trial and error. It's so much fun. It's very rewarding. So that's pretty much it. That's the behind the scenes of how some of the videos get put together. Obviously, I can't show you the art portion because I'm doing the video, but you'll see the art on the rest of the other videos. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you want to see anything else that gets done on the channel. As always, don't forget to keep it over 9,000. Thank you for watching.
Get ready for the next battle.
It's her discipline.